I think this morning I want to talk about the balance between living a little and making smart decisions, planning for things and saying, no, this is probably the best situation and best route to go. This is the sensible thing to do. And then the side of it where it's, shit, let's be impulsive, let's be a bit silly, let's live a little. We know that it's going to be a little bit of a mistake. We know it's going to be a bit erratic, but fuck it, don't matter. And it doesn't have to be with massive things, it can be with small things. And that's what it got me thinking about. And this weekend we're talking about getting a dog. Now we're still doing our house up, we haven't moved in, maybe a month from moving in, who knows. And the decision of getting a dog, once you start looking, that you're screwed, probably going to be getting one. And the options that we see is you get a puppy, or you can take someone else's dog off the hands. And now the two options we've got, obviously, like I said, you get a puppy, or we saw this couple that was getting rid of 2 dogs. It's exactly what we want. In fact, one of the dogs is named the same as what we want it to be named, and the same colour and everything like that. Call it a sign, who knows, but it is what it is. Now, is it a silly decision to go out and buy 2 dogs when you've never really had a dog yourself on your own? For me, we've looked after dogs and we had the dog when we were younger. Is that a stupid decision? It feels a bit like a stupid decision to get it now or within the next 2 weeks or whatever, but it feels like such a right decision. Or you could be smart and you could wait another 3 weeks or 5 weeks or whatever. And I was thinking about it and thinking, what's the real issue with even doing something like that? When your decision is a bit stupid, but at the end of the day you go, I can handle it, but it's a little bit of added stress that I probably don't need, but fuck it, it don't matter. And I wonder if sometimes they're almost the best decision, the fun decision, in a sense. A bit of letting go, a bit of not necessarily caring about the consequences all the time. For me, I do like planning things. I do like, not planning, but thinking about things and working through it and being a bit efficient. And now that I know is not the most efficient thing to do. Once you start looking at dogs within 2 weeks, you've got 2. To me, it's kind of ridiculous that you would do that, but I think that's how it goes. And it's nothing serious, let's be honest. You're buying a dog and no one's all serious about it necessarily, in terms of scheduled and efficient and everything like that. Obviously you got to look after it and be serious about owning one. Dog's not for Christmas, something like whatever that saying is. And I find this sometimes in other areas, this debate between just going for it and living and not thinking about it all too much, because it does get to a point where you go, we don't need to think about this. Sometimes it doesn't need planning. Sometimes it doesn't need to be thought about for months. I don't know why, but I always think of this as an example when you're playing it for fun, but when you're playing poker or blackjack for fun. And for me, I always take such a long time to make a decision. My life depends on it. And always when I'm playing that game, I'm thinking, let loose a little bit, just let's see what happens when you roll this dice, or when you ask for another card, or you play this hand, and whatever. That's a game. And I think in life, I'm trying to just a bit more go with the flow. Sounds a bit cringy, but relax a bit more. And just say, I guess, trying to not say no all the time and worry about something and plan something. I think sometimes it'll probably do you a bit of good to just be like, you know what, yeah, let's not overthink this. Let's not think about this too much. Even though that's what I'm doing now, I guess. But not think about it too much and be like, oh, this is all the negatives that could happen, and God, what if? Well, this is the better option, why don't we do it? Sometimes it's a bit fun and freeing and a bit relaxing to go, fuck it, we'll be a bit impulsive. We do it with food all the time. We'll all go out and get a treat or something like that impulsively. But when it's a bit of a bigger decision, we don't necessarily do it. And I think because realistically, most of the time, it probably doesn't actually matter what decision you make, and especially with this, I don't think it matters whether you make this decision within 2 weeks or 5 weeks. I think at the end of the day, everything is going to be okay. I think sometimes you got to remind yourself that as well. Everything is just going to be okay, no matter what decision you make. I think you can look back in your life, in your past, and you say, you've got this, you got through whatever it was. Every big decision probably looks a bit small right now. And you think, fuck it, I'll do it, I'll get through it. And it doesn't necessarily have to apply to exactly your situation where it's getting a dog. But it can apply. I feel like it could probably apply to big decisions. You could just say fuck it and go, don't need to overthink it too much. Like, what realistically are the consequences of this big decision and me being a bit impulsive? And then you've got the other side of the coin where it's like, well, sometimes you do need to think things through and be a bit more cautious, because it could affect many other people, but this decision, it doesn't affect anyone other than ourselves. And it's a bit of fun. We don't want to do it. Just find it an interesting thing to think about, because for me, my natural nature, is that even English? My nature is to think about it and to do the best thing. Sometimes either decision is the best thing. But anyway, peace.